Hey, how y'all doing? I'm out here working on my 2015 GMC Terrain, attempting to replace the oil pressure sensor since I'm getting, when I turn the key in the ignition on the dash, I get this message saying that the oil pressure is too low. So after doing a little research, I heard that the oil pressure sensor cannot be working properly. Sometimes it'll give off that message, that error about the oil pressure being too low. So I'm going to change the oil pressure sensor in my 2015 GMC Terrain. First thing you got to do is remove all the plastic covers on top of this engine here, which I did already, and they're down there. It's pretty easy to do. Just gotta unscrew the screws, take those out from the air filter housing, and then after that there's the intake here. You have to take the clamp off. There's a little clamp here that you just unscrew with the flathead, and then after that, then you gotta take the oil cap off. And then you simply just remove the plastic cover that's covering all of this. It's two pieces. There you go. After you do that, then you gotta get under here the oil pressure sensor. I don't know if you can see it, but it's where my finger is pointing. It's right under the engine there. You can't see it. There's no way of seeing it. So after going under the vehicle, sticking my phone up there and taking pictures of the wire harness that I'm trying to disconnect, I finally got a good picture and I saw what I had to do. I'll show you guys that here in a moment. But now that I got the wire harnessed off, this is what I have. I have a special socket that I just bought at O'Reilly's that was about 10 bucks. And then this is for the oil pressure sensor socket. And if you tell them what you're doing at O'Reilly's, they'll look it up and they'll find it for you. And then with the extension here, just so I can even reach the oil pressure sensor, so I have a little extension here so I can kind of stick it in there, which I'm going to do right now. And I had to also cut some of these harnesses, the plastic, like the plastic ties that are tied here. I had to take those out because some of these wires were in the way, so I needed to loosen them up. So that's what I did in order to get this where I need it. And I'll be right back. All right, so I got it out. This is the oil pressure sensor in here in this socket, and I had to do it by remove it by coming up under here, under the truck in the front. And I had to work through the frame and the radiator, and so I had the socket sticking right in that area where that big black wiring cable thing is there. That's around the spot where the sensor was in there. So I had to get my hands in there with the ratchet and remove it that way. It wasn't easy. So, but I got it out, and then now I have to put the new one in. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna attempt to do it the same way, from underneath. You could probably do it from the top, but my tool wasn't I need to have a bigger one of these. So anyway, it worked out. So to be continued. All right, so here's the old. That's the old sensor. You can see that's kind of nasty. So hopefully this fixes the problem. And here's a new one in here. So there's a new one, aftermarket, nice and shiny. And don't forget this little guy here. This needs to go on there. It just kind of sits there. And it's a little gasket. And now I'm gonna put this back in here. Should fit in there, just like that. And now I'm gonna try to put it back on. Again, I'm gonna do this from underneath the vehicle because it was kind of a bitch to get my hands down there. So I'm gonna try to do that from underneath, and I'll let y'all know how it goes. All right, so I decided to just do this from the top. And here I have my socket. You see my extension there, and I have a little swivel here. And then you can see towards the back of the engine that there's the socket, the black socket, and I'm turning. So I'm putting the new one in now, and I'm just hand tightening it and keep going. All right, until I can't tighten anymore my hand, and then I'm going to take my ratchet, and I'm going to attach it here and finish tightening it up now. I'm going to do that from the bottom. So go to the bottom here. And sure. Right there, I'm going to attach it there and then connect everything back up. So stay tuned. All right, I got the sensor in now, and I just want to show y'all one more thing. Let's see if I can find it real quick. The harness, the wire harness to the sensor, this thing, before you can even attach the socket, you have to disconnect this little harness off of the sensor. I wasn't sure how to do that in the very beginning. I spent about 30-45 minutes trying to figure out how to remove this, because you can't see. So you're kind of doing it blindly. So after taking a few pictures with my camera and figuring out what kind of harness this was, because I wasn't sure how to unclip it, you simply have to lift this piece up and pull back. So easy enough once you realize what you're working with. But whenever you don't know what kind of harness this is, you know, you're kind of doing it blindly. So anyway, hope that helps. All right, let me finish doing this, connecting it back up, and then we'll fire her up and see how it works out. All right, finally put it all back together. Now I'm about to turn it on. See, this is what it would look like, you know, from the beginning. Yeah, I had to remove those 4 screws. I had to disconnect that, and had to take this little valve, disconnect that, and then this there's a little screw right there I need to tighten up right now. Now that I think about it, a little clamp. And once you get all those off, then you can remove this. And then to get this off, you just have to take this oil cap off, and then it just simply pops off, and then you can get to work. So that's how that was. Now let's try it. Let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. An obstacle course. I hope it don't blow up. Okay. I think that fixed it. That service tire monitor system, that's always on because I changed my tires, and I had some different rims on there, and they removed the whatever whatever those sensors are, and they were too expensive to put back on, so I never did. Now I always have that error message. So it looks like we're good though. Shit, man. All right, well, comment, let me know what y'all think. I mean, it's my first time making a video like this, so I don't know how to change something out, but everything is running fine. Sounds good. Yeah, buddy. All right, thank y'all.